All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA Show. So what I'm going to call this podcast is I Want to Be Approachable. I think one of the things I realized over, I would say, actually the last year after doing the podcast and the YouTube is really, even social media, I get hit up by a lot of people. And for the most part, I always respond, or I try to. I also, if you leave a comment on my YouTube page, or you email me, or even if you text me, I want, people to understand that I'm not just saying that I want to help somebody or that I'm accessible. Like I'm here. Like I don't want to be above by any means responding to anybody. And I've been getting hit up more and more. I guess because maybe the growth of the YouTube or the podcast or just me being online for so long. And a lot of times they're like, thanks for replying. And, I'm shocked, you replied so quickly or, all these different types of things. I never thought you'd reach out, or I thank them if they want to connect with me. I don't always wait for them, or they'll say something very nice and I'll respond very quickly. I don't play games with that as far as that goes. And I kind of was thinking about that too, because I have a very well-known good friend of mine who owns a very well-known restaurant, one of the top, and I mentioned this maybe one time previously on a podcast, and in Orlando. He owns one of the top Italian restaurants, and his name, and it's on iDrive, and it's very well-known, and he likes a lot of times to answer the phone, and it's named after him. And when people call, they're shocked to talk to the owner. Especially at a restaurant, they think it's a franchise or a chain, or, they would never expect, they just think it's kind of whatever, but he tells them his name and he says they get so excited. And I'm just saying, a lot of times I've been in a situation, now I may not always be in a situation where you could reach out to me, but I am right now. But, you've reached out to people that it could be public speakers, it could be authors, it could be filmmakers, directors, and I get a lot of people are busy. They can't respond. Once you had a certain, I guess, not plateau. Once you had a certain status, I guess, it does become very hard. And you got to protect yourself to be able to respond to everybody that wants to connect with you, talk with you. I understand all that. I'm not saying that everyone has to be there. I'm not there now. But I do think I've reached out to people that pretend that they have a higher status or they're busier than they are. Because I know other people that may know them, for instance. And I think there's a lot of bullshit out there when it comes to people pretending, again, that you almost have to go through their assistant or other employees or their secretary or whoever the hell first. Or you just correspond through them to get to the other person. And again, if I may end up in that position one day. I presume I may. I'm not going to lie. But I still want to be able to be approachable in the best way I can, I guess you could say. So a lot of times I will say at the end of my podcast, if you want, reach out, any questions or comments. I mean that. I'm not here to bullshit anybody. I want people to know that. I'm not just saying that. If I say visit my website, I run into a lot of people too in my gym, and then they talk to me, or they'll know me through other people or whatever, and they'll be like, I'll be leaving, and they'll be questioning me like, hey man, any way I could reach you ever again, or can we meet? I'm like, yeah, dude, you can email me. You can go to my website. I'm here. I'm not running away. I think a lot of people also meet people and then they get blown off. I'm not going to blow you off. That doesn't mean we're going to be best friends. That doesn't mean we're going to hang out all the time. But if you do reach out to me again, I think out of common courtesy, if I receive the email, if I receive a message from Facebook or through LinkedIn or through Twitter or Instagram, whatever the case may be, I'm going to respond. If I don't see it, I don't see it. But if you are somebody out there who has any questions or anything, please feel free to hit me up. If you don't hear from me, I didn't see it. So you might want to try another avenue. I don't know if you got thrown in spam in an email, or maybe we just didn't connect. And your best bet's probably LinkedIn. I use Facebook, just a heads up. I mainly use that for family members and friends. And then I have a public page it's just my name. It's a public page separately. But LinkedIn, for the most part, I accept everyone. I really like to network on there. I do get hit up by a lot of interesting people, always trying to pitch me or whatever, and I'm just honest with them. I'm like, nice to meet you, and then if they pitch me, I don't like it, I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not interested in this, or, whatever, if sometimes they hit me with different things, so we correspond that way. That's probably your best bet. But, yeah, and I think, too, if you are somebody who's kind of up and coming, look at yourself, and I've described this before, as kind of a karma networker. I think a lot of life comes down to not only you being accessible, but helping others, especially people you may network with, making them accessible if they want that. Leading others and saying, hey, I'm not the right person for you, but this person is. And then maybe reaching out to that person first saying, hey, I have somebody who's interested in doing something. Do you want me to give them your email, or do you want me to give them, some information on you, or should I just tell them to connect with you on LinkedIn? Really helping one another, just going out of your way. And if you know me, I think most people would say that I do that, or I try to. That doesn't mean that I'm a better person than anybody or a better networker, but I do really want to help people one way or another if I can, or if I have the time. Other times, I may not always have the time to put that extra time in, but for the most part, again, I just want to be accessible and I want to help others. So I just thought I would do a podcast on this because I've just been getting hit up a lot. I mean, especially on LinkedIn, it's been really overwhelming. I think at this point, I don't even know where it's at. And again, people just keep hitting me up saying, I'm shocked that you corresponded with me, or you did this or that. And I think too, and I am going to wrap it up with this officially, I've kind of gotten to the point where if I connect with you, I'm not immediately pitching you shit. Like a lot of times, obviously, I connect with people, or they leave comments or whatever, and they're pitching me. And I don't know if I've released it yet. Maybe today. It might have been, I'm sick of pitching. I'm sick of pitching myself and sick of other people's pitches all the time pitching me. So most likely, I'm more on the end now just listening, not pitching. Now, if you ask me about something, it could be my program, my book, or whatever the hell. It could be a film. I'm like, here you go. But for the most part, if you reach out, and connect with me, I'm not going to be somebody who, just goes down your throat and starts automatically thinking that, you're interested in everything I'm doing and saying, and I have to sell you something. I can't do that shit. I'm not that type of salesperson. I'm not even that type of closer. I am more the guy who's just going to kind of listen to you for a while. If I'm interested, I'll let you know. If I'm not, I'm out. And we could still obviously go back and forth off and on. But I just want you to know if you do reach out, don't think that if you ask me questions, because I get a lot of this, hey, Rich, can you help me with this, or this or that. I don't immediately, I'll be like, oh yeah, check this video out on me, or check this out over here that has nothing to do with me, or connect with this person, like I said earlier. I'm not going to be somebody who's like, oh, you want to learn about this, you immediately go to my program, or you got to go do this, or you got to do that, or I got to pitch you on a consulting thing, or I have to pitch you on coaching you, or I have, all these things. I'm not going to do that to you. I just want you to know. So, all right, anyways, just check out my website, richcelenza.com. You'll see all my shit. You can email from there. It also has all my social media links. It has all my platforms. So, and if you don't give a shit about me, I don't blame you. Move on to someone else. All right, there's a lot of dudes out there that got a lot of information that can help you. There's also a lot of assholes, con artists out there as well that want to take your money. So be very aware of that as well. Okay? So protect yourself and one another. Take care.